What up, what up? It's your boy Bry Luther King, man, and I just skipped class with the progress report, man. You know we lit all day, every day. Let's get it.
The Progress Report.
All right. Good afternoon. It's your girl McFly here with the special skipping class today. We have Bry Luther King today.
Hey.
All right. Thank you for taking time to skip class with us today.
I appreciate y'all having me.
For sure. So I have a question. Where did the name Bry Luther King come from? It sounds so pristine.
Yeah. So the whole concept behind Bry Luther King is the first part of it is part of my first name. Luther King came from Luther being my grandfather's middle name. And then originally I thought about just going by Bry King. So I was like, you know what? Let me make it Bry Luther King. It's going to be something that people recognize, you know what I mean? When they see it on the track list, they're going to be like, man, who is this guy? You know what I mean? So that was the whole concept. And for a lot of people, it stick. So.
Okay, well, speaking of family, you grew up with a musical family, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I believe you had both parents were musically inclined. Your mom, she played the keys and your dad was in production?
Yeah.
So how was that? Tell me that journey as a kid growing up with that musical background.
Well, it was more so like with my mom's, you know, she used to play old school music back in the day, you know what I mean? Well, I guess it's old school now, but that's really what made me kind of gear towards music, you know what I mean? It was therapeutic. So seeing that my mom used to play the keys, she was in band back in high school, and with my dad doing production, you know what I mean? I think it was just, hey, it's in my bloodline, you know what I mean? So that's really what made me gear towards music. And then having my cousin Nardo, shout out to Nardo S. Real down in Florida, being a hip hop artist, like that's the first person I seen do it, you know what I mean? So like that's what it was.
Okay, and so how supportive are they now with your music, or with that transition from growing up to now? How are your family or your parents influencing and encouraging you now?
Well, my mom would be like, that's my baby. She'd be all at the shows and everything, like just lit, you know what I mean? So shout out to moms, definitely supportive, day one supporter, you know what I mean? Pops, he support, cousins, brothers, everybody's really supportive. They pull up for me, and shit, that mean the world. So definitely the support's there.
Okay, and then your influences musically. Who influenced you the most coming up?
Coming up, Luda. Luda's my biggest influence when it came to music, and the reason being is he's able to get into certain pockets that a lot of artists can't, and the way that he emphasized on his music like really stuck out to me. Him and then Jeezy as well. And you know, seeing Jeezy at a young age, I was actually in a couple of his music videos growing up. So seeing him on set, see how he moving, big production, like that's the first person that I seen up close in person doing it. So between Luda, Jeezy, man, shout out to Atlanta.
Okay, and speaking of Atlanta, you came to Atlanta and you connected with Snook Nazi, right?
Nasty, yeah.
Nasty. Okay,
yeah.
So you came to Atlanta and you connected with Snoop Nasty. Okay, so tell me about that process, because that's where you made your first single, right?
Yeah, first single, man. Shout out to Snook, he in the building right now. But day one, you know, when I transitioned from South Florida to Atlanta, Snook was probably one of my first friends, definitely. Around that time, and I seen him doing music, you know what I'm saying? He had to set up in the closet way back in the day, you know what I mean, using Audacity software, and when I seen him doing it, we really connected on a music level, you know what I mean, from him producing the whole nine, and we did our first couple singles, well, my first couple singles, which was In the Zone and Swag is Official, man. So when I go back and listen to them records now, I'm like, damn, I came a long way, for sure. But yeah, day one for sure. Shout out Snook Nasty.
Okay, so what year was it that you did your first single?
This was probably about 08, 07, in between 07 and 09 for sure. Yeah, so early on, that was my first single, first raps that was recorded. And yeah, it's been a minute. Almost 15 years.
Okay, you a
I'm getting
vet. Okay, you a vet at this point. Yeah. Okay, so in working in Atlanta, you worked with some artists. I know Fabo, Parlay, Schoolie, and Rap G. what other artists in Atlanta have you worked with, and what artists are you looking forward to working with?
So the experience working with those artists was pretty dope. One that really sticks out to me is Parlay, them Franchise Boys, man. The whole process of my latest single that's out right now, Not Today, you know, he pulled up to the studio. Shout out to Patchwork Studio. We laid down the record, and he really wanted to do something that was kind of from scratch to a certain extent. So when he heard that, man, he hopped in the booth, did his thing, and we shot the video within like a week. So it was a dope experience. Cap G did the same thing for a single that's gonna be on the album, but it was a pretty dope experience. There's definitely a ton of artists I would love to work with, man. Going back to those who inspired me, Luda, Jeezy, man, I would love to do something with them. Lotto, shout out Lotto, Clayco County, Clayco. But yeah, just to name a few.
Okay. And how has that shaped or influenced you since you're from Florida originally? That's a different sound from Atlanta. So
Yeah.
how has it shaped you as an artist?
Being in Atlanta, I think for me, I have this thing that I love as far as versatility with music. You know what I'm saying? I get the question asked a lot, like, what do you consider yourself? You consider yourself hip hop, R&B, pop? And I honestly just consider myself an artist. I don't like to put myself in a box, so I feel like I can do things that's geared towards South Florida or Florida in general, and they'll probably resonate with it more than the Atlanta market. But being that I love versatility, I feel like I got a sound for everybody, for sure.
Okay, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. So being from South Florida, what artists from South Florida have you worked with or would love to work with?
Trick Daddy. That's definitely top of the list, man. One of my favorite songs is from Trick. You know, growing up, riding around, being at a young age, especially like late 90s, him and Trina, man, they had it bumping down in Florida. You know what I mean? So definitely Trick. I would love to work with Kodak too. You know, he from Pompano Beach, which is like one county over from Palm Beach County. So shout out to him. But yeah, just to name a few.
Okay, so Trick Daddy. What's
Yeah.
your favorite Trick Daddy song?
Nan nigga. It's ratchet as hell, but hey man, play that in the club. I'm lit. I can be sober as hell too. I'm still turning up.
All right, so what would you say that Florida as a whole has contributed to the hip hop scene, to hip hop music as a whole?
Yeah, so I think it date back to Uncle Luke. You know what I mean? Like the whole parental advisory movement, you know what I mean? He was the one really gearing that and behind that. So when it comes to that type of music, explicit content, like I think Florida really stamped that. You know, definitely a big part.
That I would agree. I would agree
For
that
sure.
that's true.
They was down there getting wild. For real.
Okay, so speaking of Florida artists and Uncle Luke and things like that, so has any Florida artist reached out to you to work with you yet?
Not at the moment, nah. Outside of some of the locals, local artists, I definitely worked with some Palm Beach County artists, you know what I mean? But it's been a little while, but no mainstream artists at the moment. But hey, if you're watching this, hit me. For sure.
Well, you actually have, and speaking of that, you have something for the artists that are coming up as well as artists who are established. You have a showcase that you put together yourself. And so tell me your vision behind the showcase.
So what we're doing right now with Black Diamond Music is we have created a platform for up-and-coming artists. And the main goal behind it was to give up-and-coming artists a voice, a stage, to be able to come out, perform, and on top of that, win prizes for the first place winner. It's something that we've been doing quarterly since the top of the year. So we already did fall a few weeks back. Now going into winter, we're looking at doing something in December and just really giving artists a platform to come out to perform. This last showcase, we had them Franchise Boys in the building. Shout out to Pimpin' and Parlay. And we did something cool too. We had a lean with it, rock with it challenge, and they decided the winner, and it was lit. So it's definitely a pretty dope platform, and we like to bring in special guests that's, you know, within reach. You know what I'm saying? They can literally in the building, go up to that person and speak with them and have a conversation, take pictures, really creating a dope ass atmosphere. So
That's dope. That's dope. And the culture needs that. They need more showcases where they can actually talk to artists and reach out to artists. So
absolutely.
I think that's dope. So you being an artist yourself, manager and CEO of the label Black Diamond Music Group, how are you able to balance everything?
Shoot, I'm still figuring that out. It's definitely a lot, man. It's a lot, but it also takes time, patience, preparation. Just because, you know, I'm a really structured person. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do something, I don't like to have to do it, you know, so I need to find a way to dedicate the time and really, you know, put my all and be all in. Now, balancing wise, that part I'm still working on, but I feel like I had some kind of grasp on it at the moment, and it's just taking the time. You gotta have the time. If you wanna do it, you're gonna find a way to do it. And that's been my demeanor this whole time, so.
I mean, for sure, you got the showcase, and then you also, right now, you have a single coming up, City on Fire.
Yeah, that's actually the album, yeah. Yeah, the album coming, City on Fire. I'm looking at dropping it within the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then I do have a single called City on Fire, which is gonna be the intro to the song as well, to the album as well. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be something to look out for.
Okay, what's the vibe for the album?
The vibe is gonna be more so on a hip hop, R&B vibe, but it's more so like it's kind of you getting a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? You getting a little bit of the turn up, you getting a little bit of the vibe type music, and you getting a little R&B too, and some dope features. So.
Okay, so tell me.
tuned.
Tell me, what's your take on the direction that music is going in right now? Because right now the girls are winning.
I was just
So
about to say
tell
that.
me, what is your take on that?
Man, I love it. I think it's dope. It's well overdue. You know what I mean? Female artists, I feel like, have held it down low key for a long time anyway. It's just them finally getting to the forefront, getting that recognition that they finally deserve, and I love it. I think we should see more of it, and I think for years to come, I think. Shout out to them, for real. It's lit.
So you said that you, of course, want to work with Lotto.
Yeah.
So give me, if you can do an album or a song, let's say you can do a song with you and 2 female rappers or 2 artists right now, who would they be?
Okay, so Lotto's definitely gonna be one of them. I think that second one's gonna be hard because I may want to pull from old school. You know what I mean? I may, you know, try to do Trina. You know what I mean? Mix that South Florida with Atlanta. I think that'd be dope. And Trina's definitely a real hip hop vet. So I think that'll probably be the second. Yeah.
Okay.
Can y'all see that?
That would be a dope
Yeah.
little vibe for sure. Because
sure.
you got Atlanta, you got Florida. I think that would be a dope connection. You put that together.
Yep.
Okay, so on your journey, you have been doing music since you were a kid. You started off in Florida. Now you're in Atlanta. And you've had showcases and you've connected with a lot of different artists
Yeah.
and producers and managers. What is the best piece of advice that you've received?
Stay consistent. It's really that simple too. You know what I mean? Like, I've had some dope calls with some people, and some people in the game that I can really reach out to and get some real advice. And the biggest thing is stay consistent. If you take your foot off the gas for 1 minute, somebody's gonna jump in front of you. You know what I mean? You know. So if you don't keep going, somebody else will take your spot. So stay consistent and just keep going. Don't let up.
All right, speaking of consistency, how have you progressed as a person?
I feel like I progressed. If I just look back from now to just a year ago, like progression has really taken off. You know, a year ago, a lot of people didn't even know my name. You know what I mean? All the collabs that I mentioned happened this year. You know what I'm saying? So from Fabo, Pale, Schoolie, Cap G, 2 records with Cap G. Like all that transpired just in the last, 7-8 months. So if I just look at the last year, man, progression has really taken off and consistency has really played a part. and what I'm doing in this year. And then in 2024, it's out of here for sure.
Okay. Okay. So, what's something that you want the people to know about you, about your label, as a manager? What is something that you want them to know?
I want people to know that I'm someone that can be easily, you can easily reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people that act bougie or unapproachable. Like, I'm really somebody that you can reach out to if you wanted to work, do something, want some kind of advice. Even if I don't have the answer, if I can find the answer, I'll get it for you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really somebody that a lot of people lean on, and I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I tell a lot of people, especially that worked with us before on some of the showcases, some of the artists that's still up and coming, you know, I tell them all the time, look, don't hesitate to reach out to me, for sure. Something I want people to know about Black Diamond Music is it's not just an indie label, it's a movement. You know, we got a lot of people that's affiliated that really look up to the brand, and we have a reputation to maintain. You know what I mean? We've done a lot of showcases in the past, and a lot of these platforms, they really just out to get people's money. We're not like that. What we say you're gonna get is what you're gonna get, transparent from the jump, and that's just what it is.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So, our word with the progress report is progress. So, what does the word progress mean to you?
Progress is something that just shows. Really, I was gonna say something rhetorical, but progression for the most part, right? So progress is something that just shows that you have made some kind of improvement, and that's how I view it. For the most part, it's improvement, even if you tie it to some kind of time frame or time gap. It's just improvement.
Okay, so what's next for you?
What's next is City on Fire, the album, man. I need everybody to lock in. I need everybody to make sure you stream it when it drop. Date coming soon, but it's definitely coming within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Like I mentioned, I got features on there from Schoolie. Shout out Schoolboy Schoolie. I got Pale on the album. I got Cap G on the album, man. It's gonna be a movie. So lock in, stay tuned.
Okay.
It's coming.
Well, we appreciate you for skipping class with us today.
The Progress Report.